Doing the 2500 hardware versus plugins today. It's going to get wild. So let's go ahead and start going over some routing here. We've got some drums. All the drums are being fed into two different drum buses here. I've got the hardware bus is on the left. Plugin bus is on the right here. Boom. Due to the nature of everything being bus, instead of doing the solo, I'll be doing mutes. I'll be muting hardware, and I'll be muting software. On the hardware bus, I have the 2500. And then on the plugin bus, we've got the dad loop. Our phase flip is already established. That way, whatever we're doing on that testing bus is already nulled. We'll go ahead and check our null, make sure that our null does indeed null. So whenever I hit the phase flip, the drum should disappear. Boom, we have a perfect null. So we are ready to start testing. Our converters are nulling negative 60 dB against each other. We'll go ahead and pop the API in, and we can just hear what the sound of the API is. That's a humongous null. Minus 41.5. That's just the tone of the box. So box tone is down like minus 40 dB. We've got our notebook halfway. Minus 20.25 is our emulation line today we have to meet. And our actual floor, minus 40.5. We're going to go ahead and do manual gain because when we hit these transformers, it's going to add a lot of color. Like the API, super famous for its tone, super famous for its sound. I guess let's dial it up. I'm going to dial it up as though I'm using it as a main drum bus compressor today and not a parallel. Here we go. So we'll see, this is the input. I'm actually coming in under Unity. I'm going to regain structure this unit because we are not maximizing the circuit here. Leaving the settings, I'm just going to pull a threshold way back, pull all the drums up into the unit. That way we're actually coming in around 0. We want the benefits of the electronics. So we're going to see if the plugins can do it. There we go, snare's smacking about 0. Input and output are matched. All right, we'll go ahead and do our gain reduction. We'll go ahead and re-engage our makeup gain. There we go. We've got good gain structure through the unit. So we've got that dialed in. I like what it's doing. I'm going to kind of do the exact same thing that I did with the LA2A, where I'm going to go ahead and I'm really going to drive into this output transformer, and I'm going to use the API like a clipper. I'll go ahead and crank it. So the trick on this one is I'm going as hot as I can get without actually clipping my converters. I like how that's hitting. That's hitting really hard. These meters are RMS-based ballistics, so they're not giving you like the actual transient peak clip information. So there's a lot of that snare and a lot of that kick drum and a lot of those toms that are getting through before that meter registers what's happening. I like it on medium more than I like it on normal, I think. It's letting more of the kick drum through. One more play with the attack setting. As it stands right now, I really like how it sits at 10. Ratio right now, I believe it's 2-to-1. Pump it up to 4-to-1. Let's see. I just neutered the hell out of it. So much squish. More quick bypass. Just making sure I'm in love with this before we start like really putting it up against the plugins. Bypass. One thing I do have to note about the hardware versus the plugins, there's something that the plugins don't have. Right here, the shape. Fast and slow. You know, this doesn't say high pass, low pass. And if you pull up the hardware actual manual, and if you read what the shape button does, it changes the thrust detection between peak and RMS detection. If you have it set to fast, the thrust detector will react more to transient material than it will program material. So it's more like of a transient compression versus sustained compression, and then you can essentially all buttons in it by confusing the detector and feeding it both paths. Plugins, that is a high pass, low pass, band pass switch. It's a completely different thing. So that's already something that every single plugin doesn't have. I'm going to go ahead and keep that out just for the testing because we can't actually test that against the plugins. So I guess we can go ahead and we'll listen to the delta. So we'll just go ahead and listen to exactly what the API is doing. So the only thing that's going to be left on the table here is what the API in this current state is bringing to the sonic. This could be interesting. Here we go. So all that you're hearing, the delta of the compression curve. So you're essentially hearing the compression curve in reverse. So you get to hear exactly what it's doing to the snare, and exactly what it's doing to the kick drum. So that's what it's pushing down. It's really cool hearing how that compressor releases. It's super bombastic, especially in auto. Should we start testing? Start dialing them up? As always, we're just going to start by visually matching all of the settings. See what it sounds like. See how close it gets. Null it. Dial in the settings further. See if we can get it to null harder. We'll A/B it. We'll give it a null score. We'll go ahead and start off with the classic, one of the first ever available to us, the Waves 2500 compressor. So our link is at 50, hard knee, medium, and feed forward. Why did they make that button red? It's yellow on the hardware. That already bothers me. We're at 150 milliseconds in the auto. 2-to-1. Looks good. Oh, it's a totally different meter. Doesn't meter the same way. But it looks like we've got all the settings are officially matched. So this is the hardware first. We'll always start with the hardware first. Then we'll switch to the plugin. Here we go. Totally different tone. Yeah, big tone difference. Has like a tissue paperiness in the plugin versus the hardware. It's more of like a pop. We're going to go and listen to the delta of the hardware and the plugin. And then from there, I'll try to get it a little bit closer. Here we go. The attack's way different. So everything that's left on the table right now is what the plugin is not getting right. We're going to try to make it disappear as much as we possibly can. Farther. I got us a little closer. There we go. We'll click the analog switch. The analog switch being on gets us closer in the low end. Yeah. See if I can get the attack closer. Nope. Release. Come on, disappear. Oh, listen to that stereo divergence. That is terrible. Whenever the cymbals come in, all of a sudden the cymbals come in like bad to the right. That cymbal's so bad, guys. It's missing the top end completely. About as close as we're going to get to it. I'll let you go ahead and hear the hardware first. We'll switch over to the software, and we'll go ahead and give it a score. So here we go. Hardware first. This is software. Hardware. Like the actual plugin, I'm not mad at it. It's a good compressor. Pop on the snare drum is insane on the hardware. It's a little softer on the plugin. Plus the tonality, like I said, there's like a big tonal shift. Plugin just has like a paperiness to it, I think, when we compare it against the hardware. It has like a papery. So officially time, we're going to give it a score. Here we go. It got a minus 24 dB null score. That's better than I thought it was going to get right out of the gate. I'll tell you that. Our emulation line today, minus 20.5 dB. It passed the line. 6 dB away from being like right on that barely audible line. Moving on. Plugin Alliance one. Go ahead and match some stuff up. 10 milliseconds. 2-to-1. What is it with these things not having the auto release characteristic thing? I love how this one actually has the filter on it. Link is set to 50%. Manual gain. Bypass, compress. Output. Yeah, compress. Sick. I like it. This one's actually kind of metering closer to the hardware than the Waves one is. So this is the visually matched setting. Let's see. Let me try to play with this threshold. I might have to dig in a little bit harder to get it to do it. What is happening? Like, what is happening? Am I completely missing something here, guys? You got me. Compressor wasn't bypassed, y'all. All right, let's re-level match really fast. That was classic. Hardware first. Software. Hey! Go back to hardware. kick drum on the plugin is in a higher place, like tonally, like it's shifting the fundamental up versus the plugin or the hardware is kind of keeping it low and deep. The snap on the snare though is very close to the hardware. Let's go ahead and null it. Let's see. The left and right link is doing weird things. I feel like the snare just all of a sudden is just coming out of the left side when I null it. It's doing like a EQ pan, where I feel like the high-end information is coming out of the right speaker and like the low-end information is coming more out of the left speaker. You can see the left side's moving differently than the right. Yeah, look at that. The snare's on the left. The way that it grabs the snare is super cool, but I don't like that it's doing that under the hood. It's like EQ panning your stuff. Let's try different link settings really quick. It's still doing it. Let's try multi-mono. Nope. I don't know what's happening with that. Very weird. Null score time. Here we go. Minus 18.3. It did not cross the emulation line. I'm actually very, very, very curious about this one. The Pulsar. Knee is set to medium. Oh no, our knee is set to hard. Feed forward. Let's see, 2-to-1. Attack is at 10. Once again, they don't have this release thing. Threshold. About 3 dB of gain reduction on it. There we go. It looks about matched. Let's go ahead and hear it. Hardware. And we'll switch to the software. Oh shit! I feel like I have more extra pop on my snare. That could be because of the clipper, maybe? I'm clipping the output. Might even hit the clipper. I'm just kissing it. Okay, I'm kissing it. Let's go ahead and null it and see if we can get it any closer. Ooh, it's missing the low end bad. See if we can fix that low end problem. No, that's just the low end. It's missing it. Kind of missing the attack a little tiny bit. So that's about as close as I can get it. Let's go ahead and we'll A-B them really fastly. This is the hardware first. Software. Hardware. Software. The low end's probably going to throw it, but let's go ahead and give it a null score. It got itself a 19.3. The UAD's next. So we've got two of them. This is the actual UAD one, the one that's powered by the DSP Shark chips. And then we have the UADX one, which is the one powered off of native DSP. Are these two truly identical? You know, like, is the real difference really just a DSP? Dude, we're going to do this test really quick. Bypass my hardware. Hardware's gone. I'm going to bypass my dad loop. Dad loop's gone. The UADX version, put it on one channel, or test channel. The UAD Shark chip version, I'm going to put it on another one. Just going to snap some settings. We'll put the threshold there. Sure, we'll do this. Makeup gain. This is probably going to just absolutely blow up speakers, so heads up, guys. All right, it's doing crazy dumb stuff. So it should just null. DSP version versus the UADX version, we're going to see if they are indeed identical the same. Our tone knobs don't match. That's probably what it is. I bet you that's throwing us off. Those are different by default. Here we go. All right, now we have a perfect null. That was it. Default states when you pull them up. It's a perfect null against each other. There is no difference between the UADX and the UAD Shark DSP processing plugins. It's a minus 102 dB null. We'll test the UADX one because that's the one that everybody has access to. So throwing back in our hardware, throwing back in our dad loop, do the visual match. Attack time is 10 milliseconds. Ratio is 2-to-1. The release, we can actually model the auto release. Hard knee, we're at medium, we're in feed forward mode, but we can't model the detection right here. We can't model the filter shapes because it's not the same. Manual makeup gains on, everything else is good to go. Looks like our gain reduction is already way different than our hardware. We'll go ahead and check the level matches. A little closer, little closer, little closer. There we go, we're matched. Let's go ahead and check it out. Start with the hardware, and I'll go ahead and switch it over. We'll listen to the software. mid-range, it's getting very close. It has like the presence bump, and the way that it's grabbing the snare, not catching my ear weird. It's just like not quite, I don't think it's grabbing the lows as fast. See how close we can get with it. Playing with the output gain to try to get closer. It's doing some cool stuff here. This is wild. So it's missing like the very initial pop of the attack. Try to get it to null a little bit harder here. I did have to change that a little bit to get that to null a little bit harder. And our link is not matched with the hardware. So it says that to 50. So many settings on this compressor. Play with the threshold. Yeah, about there. Threshold's a little bit different compared to the hardware. About as close as I could possibly get it while it was null. Let's go ahead and hear them back and forth. So we'll start off. This is the hardware first. Alright, so I've got like a weird audiophile-ish analogy to make here. Hardware has like a softer, pillowy, fundamental low end. The low end is foundational, it's there, but it's not super hard. It's still punchy and it's prevalent and it's always audible. I never have to like fight to hear the low end. With the plug-in, the low end feels harder. Like it feels like it's more of like in like the concrete area instead of like a firm couch. It's like more of direct. Like here's the hardware. Let's go ahead and null it, and we'll give it an official null score. Oh my god, this one's doing good. Oh, no! You break my heart. I'll give you the rating. I don't like it, but I'll give you the rating. Sorry. UAD 2500 plus got a null score of minus 15.3 dB. That makes this one the worst. Don't know how I feel about these tests anymore, guys. They're breaking my heart. So I'm saying, like, there's two lists. There's like the Delta list, like the actual list of Delta testing, and there's the what feels good list. We got it. It works. We can finally set it up. We have audio. All right, here we go. 10 millisecond attack. Our release is ish in the ballpark. Stereo link's set to 50. All right, let's go ahead and dial this compressor in. About maybe 3 dB. Yeah, floating between 3 and 4. All right, this is acting like the tone section. I like it at 15. That feels good. I kind of have the same pop on the snare drum. Go ahead and pull the volume down, and we'll match output levels. Might be digging in too hard on the threshold. I don't like what it's doing with the snare. It's doing something different. I landed at about 4 dB of gain reduction where I kind of started to get it to do the same thing. Even then, it's not doing the same thing. It's a different animal. This is doing something totally different. So this is initial, just by matching settings. Let's see. Here we go. I feel like I'm missing a lot of energy. Like that's something that like a 2500 is so well known for, is like just bombastic, saturated energy. And I feel like I'm getting like a little bit of the same pop out of the snare, but I feel like all the energy is gone and I'm not getting any of the life. This is not like giving me the same feeling of using a 2500, like the energy of the track, like how energetic it is. And listen to whenever I switch to the plugin. I don't know. This one kind of falls flat for me. It's a cool compressor. Like, it's compressing, and it's doing things, and it's adding a lot of excitement to the snare. It's just energy. Yeah. It's got, like, the grabbiness, but it feels like it's maybe even more grabby than the actual 2500. Null test. DMG audio track comp. 2K5 setting. Listen to the release. It's way more grabby. Let's try to get that to disappear some more. Play with the attack. All right, 9.67 milliseconds is where I landed. A little faster than 10. Around 111, 113 milliseconds is where I ended up on the release in order to kind of get some stuff to disappear. Play with the output gain. So this is as close as I could get it in the nulled state. Let's go ahead and listen to the hardware first. That's a different compressor. Really aggressive. Even at 2-to-1, it's very heavy-handed. I'm getting closer with a softer ratio. 1.59 is about where it disappears. Let's go ahead and ABM now. Here is the hardware. Got us closer. But then I'm missing like the higher ratio sound in the kick drum. It's got the essence, but it's all in like different places. I'm having to chase it around. Let's go ahead and null test it. Here we go. Jesus. Minus 20.9. It did really good. DMG audio in the 2K5 setting. Minus 20.9. All right, so we tested 5 API 2500 plugins. Tried as hard as we possibly could to get them to null against the hardware. Here's the results. 5th place, breaking my heart, strictly null testing, the UAD 2500 plugin. Now, we did do a quick null test against UAD versus UADX. Same plugin, null down to minus 100.2 or 102 dB. So it's same exact plugin, no sonic differences between the two versions. Minus 15.3 dB against the hardware. Emulation line today being minus 20.25 dB. That's 5th place. Going into 4th place, we have Plugin Alliance, the Lindell SBC. The Lindell got a null score of minus 16.3 dB. So it did 1 dB better than the UAD one in the actual null testing. In 3rd place, the Pulsar A25. This was the first one that I pulled up where I was like, this feels pretty cool. This actually feels like some hardware. Got itself a null score of minus 19.3 dB. On the border of the emulation line for the null. Coming in 2nd place, the DMG Audio Track Comp in the 2K5 setting. So this one was a very unique one in terms of how it felt and how it responded. This got a null score of minus 20.9 dB. Lacked some of the energy that you get from the hardware. Actually did pretty well. Like, we can just say that this is a pattern at this point. In 1st place, the champion with a null score of minus 24 dB, the OG Classic Waves API 2500 compressor. This thing is the only one of all 5 we tested that actually crossed the emulation line. This is the list based off of the Delta testing. Moving on to list 2, strictly based on how things feel. Track comp, for me, the DMG track comp is dead last. It gets you the essence of a 2500, but it lacks all of the excitement. It's a piece that really lets you know when it's there. Like, it's not a transparent piece of hardware at all. And this, to me, feels like this is a transparent version of an API 2500. This is a personal list. So in 4th place, for me, the Lindell SBC. It has like a weird EQ pan. You don't know what's happening until you listen to the nulls. And I don't like that at all. 3rd place for me is the Waves. It is a really good digital compressor for drums and for guitars. It doesn't offer the same feeling of aggression and energy that the 2500 offers me. 2nd place to me, it's the Pulsar. This might actually end up becoming a 1st place for me, like, over time. Like, I could see this becoming a 1st placer, and it's just because of the extended feature sets. But then again, that's kind of getting away from the actual focus of today, which is what can emulate a 2500. And for me, 1st place, the UAD one, UAD 2500. When I'm just doing blind tests, and I do a lot of these like Hoffa blind tests, 3 out of 5, 5 out of 7 times, I'm gonna end up favoring this one over the other ones that I've had in previously. So this is the one that, like, I know just from experience, just searching out like a comparable in-the-box situation for whenever I'm away from my hardware and I have to mix. This was the one that I gravitate to the most.